Hello, everyone. Thanks for joining me again this week on the program Family and Social Life Talk Show. And I am your host, Queen Obaseki. Sorry, I'm coming in a bit late. It was due to some technical issues. Um, I'm happy to be here with you today to discuss some very vital and critical issues in marriage. And the topic we're going to discuss today is going to be um, marriage on the foundation of deceit. So I would like my people to join me to discuss this because I'm not going to be able to discuss this alone. And I have some guests to join us shortly on this broadcast for us to discuss it together. So if you're watching us wherever you're watching us from, please leave your comments below. If you missed this broadcast, you can also come back. You can always leave your comments, and then we would treat it on our subsequent broadcasts. So today, there was a video that was trending a few weeks ago that a lady came out to say that she got married, and on the basis of no sex before marriage, and after marriage she got into the marriage and found out that the man she got married to does not have a manhood. Well, that's strange actually, because I don't know um if somebody, she said nothing, in between his legs. I'm sure there's something, but maybe very tiny, though maybe she's just over exaggerating. Well, but what she said, that she's a pastor's child, and her father is a very, is a well-known person, and the wedding they did was a very big one. You know, this kind of elaborate wedding that most people want to do to show off, probably, but I don't know. But I think that's one of them. And right now she's crying out now that it's just 3 months that they got married. She got to realize that her husband does not have a manhood. So she doesn't know how she's going to cope. She cried out and told the parents about it. And the father said marriage is for better, for worse. What do you think? It's really better for worse in this situation. Well, that's why I'm going to leave the question for you guys to answer the question, because she says she wants a divorce, that she wants to leave the marriage. And the father said no, that she's going to bring shame and disgrace to him and the entire family. So what do you think? Do you think the lady should enjoy it and be there? And because they said the lady said the husband told her that they're going to adopt children. So, but her pains now is the satisfaction. How's she going to get it? So, whatever you think, my viewers, I want you to come online and let's discuss it together. I'm expecting my guests to come online. I can see Rashid is there. Rashid, can you see me? Rashid, where are you? If you can see me, you can join the live broadcast now. Mr. Rashid Abu, we are expecting you to come on while we wait for other guests to come in. Rashid, we can't hear you. Maybe you should check your mic. Okay. I will also um drop the clip, the video of the lady on our YouTube page, so you can also listen to the lady, and let's have your thought on these issues. All right, Mr. Rashid Abu. Mr. Rashid Abu is on now. So we are waiting for some of our viewers to join the broadcast. Hello, Mr. Rashid Abu. Hello, can you hear me? I think the network is really bad where he is right now. All right, we wait for him to reconnect. Oh, we lost him. Okay, Rashid Abu. Wait, Mr. Rashid Abu, are you there?
Yes, I'm with you. Can you see me?
Oh, yes, I can see it. That's great. Mr. Rashid Abu has just joined us. He's one of our guest speaker today on this program. Mr. Rashid Abu, how are you doing today? Hello.
Hello, you're breaking up. You are breaking up.
Okay, maybe it's the network actually. Mr. Rashid Abu is an importer of, is into furnitures. He's an importer of house and office furnitures. So Mr. Abu, you're welcome to the program. We would like to go straight to the topic of the day, and our guests, our viewers will meet us. Are you ready for us?
Yes, I'm ready. If you can hear me.
Okay, and you know what we're discussing today is marriage on foundation of deceit. That is a very critical issue. So right now, um, the man, you've watched the program, the video, and for the sake of those that are just joining the broadcast, a lady cried out that she got married, and on the basis of no affairs, no sex, no sexual intercourse before marriage, and after marriage, she got to realize she was a virgin, and she's a church girl. She's a pastor's child, pastor's daughter. She got married and realized after marriage that her man, her husband, does not have a manhood. That's heartbreaking. All right.
Wow.
So if you are the man, why would you want to, deceive a woman to come into marriage without letting her know your situation? Then allow her to decide if truly her love for you is to, stay with you, stay put or not.
Okay. Can you hear me?
Of course, I can hear you very well.
If I heard you clearly, you talk about um a pastor's child getting married to a man that has no manhood. Am I right?
Yes.
And she later discovered that the man has no manhood.
Mm-hmm.
It all depend on the orientation that the pastor's child has from the beginning. because I have once been in a church where we had a similar debate whether if if we are to go into courtship before marriage or no courtship before marriage, and we all debated over it in the church that very fateful day. But on this note, if she is a pastor's child and she later discovered that the man she got married to has no manhood, although it is very difficult to
Abu, are you
actually
there?
say what will happen at that point. If you can hear me,
Of course, I can hear you. The line, I think there was some hitches on the network. So can you, just repeat the last part that you just mentioned? Hello, are you there? Oh my God, Mr. Abu just okay. We lost him on the network. Okay, I think he was trying to explain they had similar issues, you know, in his church. So we'll wait for him to reconnect back so he can tell us his own side of the story or his own opinion. Let him give us his own opinion as the man. I'm sure he's going to put himself in the shoes of the man and speak from the man's perspective. And let's also see why the man decided to keep that to himself until after marriage. All right. But for those of us out there that is getting into marriage, I think marriage is something to do with love, though. But again, it's not supposed to be a bondage. And again, love is supposed to be enjoyed, not to be enjoyed. So, not telling your partner everything about you, to me, this is my own personal opinion. I don't think it's really a nice thing because you need to tell the person everything about you. The person needs to know everything in total. Then the person will decide. There are some love that no matter what it is, no matter what it is, I've seen people that will get married to a very, you see some ladies, they are beautiful, they have everything, and you see the husband they'll get married to is this small thing that dwarf, and they enjoy it. So it's just about choice. But to me, I feel the man should have opened up to her and see if truly the love she professed, that said she really loved the man, is genuine or not. It might be genuine, but probably not up to 100% genuine, because in this situation, this kind of love is not 100%. This is my personal opinion, though. Because if it's 100%, I'm not sure that would your marriage should be based solely on sex, or sexual pleasure. The man is working. He's not. He's an handicap, but in one aspect, and every other thing is moving on smoothly. And he said they would um adopt children, and she will also get her satisfaction through other means which he can do. His hands and legs are working, his whole body is complete. So I don't understand. I don't understand what's actually going on. All right, we have Susan West Braniff. Um, okay, let's bring. Okay, we have Susan West Braniff on the show um, this evening, and then I'm happy to have her here. Susan West Braniff. It's a very wonderful lady. She's a mother. She's a wife. She's a broadcaster, a TV presenter, a humanitarian, name it. She's a singer. Oh, above all, she's a singer. She's a songwriter. She's a producer. Please give it up for Susan West.
Thank you.
She's right now. She's based in the UK, and we're talking from UK. Susan West, can we meet you, please?
Hey, Queen, you've done all the introductions, all of it. There's nothing to add to it. I'm very happy to be.
I actually missed one. Um, she had some a program. You can also follow her on that program, which is African Rise TV. Don't miss it. You need to join her there and see all she got. Hi, Susan West. Welcome to this program, Family and Social Life Talk Show.
Thank you, Queen. You look like a queen. You're looking so pretty.
Thank you so much. You too.
And good evening, everyone. Good evening, everybody watching from Nigeria, most especially. I know. So I'm very happy to be here. My name is Susan, like she said, Susan West. And she's already done the entire introduction. There's nothing else to add to it. So I'm very happy to be here to bring a little bit of whatever contributions that I might have to the topic of discussion today.
All right. Thank you so much, Susan. And the topic of today, we're discussing on marriage on foundation of deceit. There's a video that was trending last week that said the lady cried out actually that says she's a pastor's child, the pastor's daughter. She's a church girl actually, and the father is a founder of the church, and is a well-known church. It's a well-known church. The family are well known. You know, she got into this marriage, and while they were courting, they were doing their courtship. They didn't. There was the agreement between she and the man was no sexual intercourse before marriage, and after marriage she realized, and the marriage was quite elaborate, so it was a great one. And after getting into marriage, she realized that the man does not have a manhood. I don't know. You are a lady. And she actually cried out to her parents. Her dad said, no, you have to sit there. Marriage is for better for worse. You've gotten yourself into it, you have to bear it. And no divorce, because we don't want you to bring shame into our family, most especially himself, the father. So what's your take on that? We also have Mr. Rashid Abu standby. He's standing by to actually put himself on the shoes of the man. He's going to speak from the man's perspective. So over to you, Susan West.
Hmm. What's my take on it? My take on it is not going to be a very popular one with Nigerians, especially because we're very religious people. Straight up, when I heard the story, I had just one thing to say, which is that why was it that she didn't even have she didn't get the opportunity to see if he was a man in the first place? Like, you're going to get married to someone. I know that back home in Nigeria, there's this thing, if you are a born again Christian, you're not supposed to have sex before marriage, and that's a big deal. A lot of people do it, but this is one of the proof that might not be something that is very, very, that is practice should be practiced, basically, because I believe that this lady has been scammed. She has been scammed, and her parents are adding salt to injury, in the sense that they're talking about, they're not even trying to encourage her to leave the marriage, because as far as they're concerned, it's about their their image. They're more interested in what the public or their church will say about them as a family, which is everything that is wrong with the way we reason in Nigeria or most African cultures. You know, first, every individual has rights to themselves, right to their life, right to make decisions for themselves. So if you find yourself in a situation because you are a pastor's daughter, and you allow your, once you're married, you're an adult. Whether your father is a pastor or not, your father, even your father as a pastor, should not be able to dictate to you what you choose to do with your life if you're an adult. You know, you're also a Christian, and the God that you serve does not need your father's permission, or you don't need to go through your father to speak to the God that you serve. And how, even as a Christian, how do we recognize whether or not the Spirit of God is in the Word of God, the Spirit of God is in agreement with whatever decisions that we make? Is that they say that the Holy Spirit will bear witness with your spirit. What does that mean? It means that whatever it is that is good, that your spirit is welcoming as a child of God, by the time you take it to God in prayer, is that something that sits well with your spirit? Because the Holy Spirit will be constantly in agreement with your spirit man. So in this case, I'm just going to say that that woman she's a woman. She's not a child. She's not a girl. She's a woman. She does not need her father or her mother, regardless of how influential or how powerful or economically powerful her parents are, because they are leaders of a church. She does not need them to make that decision for her. She's respected them by taking the matter to them, and they have given their opinion. It is left for her to decide what she wants to do with herself as a woman. First of all, it's a scam. If she takes the man to court, it is a scam. Yes, she can't take the man to court, because he should have told her from the very
Really?
beginning that he doesn't have any manhood, and let her make a conscious decision if that's a relationship that works well with her. There are people, I'm sure, there are women who are willing to live with a man who doesn't have a penis. Okay? Not every woman wants to be with a man without a penis. So she has a right to know that he does not have a penis. It's not his fault that he was born without a penis, but it is his duty to make sure that the person he's going into a relationship with knows that he does not have a manhood. I mean, what's the purpose of marriage? What is the entire essence of getting into marriage? There must be sex involved. There must be procreation. So why the scam of finding companion without having what it takes to sustain that relationship? I mean, if you don't have manhood, you can remain celibate for the rest of your life. You're not even going to have any temptation to want to do anything anyway. So for me, it's a woman's deceit. It's the power is in the woman's hands. She doesn't need her father or her mother to tell her whether to stay or to leave. And if the family love her so much, they will not care about the name, the family name. First of all, if they were, if things had been done properly, did they not have opportunity to have premarital counseling? Were there opportunities to have asked questions? Were those questions asked? Did he answer those questions? Did he lie during those times? So as far as I'm concerned, this is a no-brainer. There is no reason for her to even come to social media to talk
All
about
right.
all these things.
Let me quickly consider. Do you mean those are things, part of the things they ask during a marriage counseling, to ask you if you have a penis?
No, they won't ask
Uh-huh.
whether you have a penis, but they will ask questions about your sexual lives. And it's like we're having a conversation. You say something, and from what you say, I'll be able to pick up something else and ask a follow-up question, isn't it? So if I say, if a grown man, I'm not sure how old is the man, because I think he's a lot older than she is, and she's not a very
Mhm,
young girl. So
mhm, mhm.
if, for instance, during premarital counseling, even between the woman and the man, there would have been instances where the woman must have asked questions about if he's ever had sexual relationships with anybody. Okay, so even if on their own they never had a conversation during premarital counseling and premarital counseling or whatever they might call it in their church, they would have had opportunities to talk about these things. It's not about him having a penis, but topic that will center around sex and how sex works in marriage. Those were
Don't
opportunities for the man to have come clean. Okay, if he didn't come clean, he scammed her into a marriage. There is no obligation for her to stay.
but again, do you think they she needed to go into that kind of conversation due to the fact that, or knowing fully well that she's a church girl, she's a Daddy Gio's daughter, talking about sex at that point? I feel, this is my personal opinion, that she might not want to engage the guy into that kind of conversation. You know how some people, they pretend in that area where we're coming from, actually, that the guy might think, is that the reason why we're getting married, or is that the so why are you so
It's a
interested about
cultural thing.
doing all those things?
It's a cultural garbage. It's a cultural burden that Nigerian women or African women have to deal with. That's their problem. Because I don't fall into that category. I was a church girl. I've always been a church girl. But I'm a church girl that is not a fool. Okay? There is foolishness that is attached to this whole thing of doing church. And luckily for me, when I was in Nigeria, I did not attend a church that was devoid of reality. The church that I attended we were able to, talk about things like this. Do you understand? There are some churches that do holier than thou. I've never been to such churches. So I don't know the kind of church she's got. But this is the consequences of that over religious behavior and pretending like you live
Jerusalem.
in space, in some kind of planet that is that even Jesus Christ did not exist. Because the sort of religiosity that people practice in Nigeria, in those kind of churches, is as though even Jesus, when he was on earth, associated himself with the so-called people that people of the world consider dirty or not so clean or not of good reputation. Okay, so if you want to be a church person and you want to act like the Bible says we're of this world, but not we're in this world, but not of this world. I think people really misunderstand what that scripture says. To be honest with you, I have a feeling that if this lady was probably like a very young girl, for instance, in her late teens or early 20s, I'll cut her some slack. But the photo of the person I saw, or the video of the person I saw, is not that young. So she should have also gathered experience of life. Okay? She should not even come to social media to even talk about this thing because the truth of the matter is it's a no-brainer. The man didn't tell you he didn't have a penis. Because he didn't tell you he didn't have a penis, you went into a marriage with him, you expect him to have sex. So you were in this world enough to understand that there's something called sex that has to happen in marriage, isn't it? So you're not so naive. Okay? Okay? So if she's so holy and they're so holy and they're doing things so holy, then if she has to deal with it. If she wants to stay in that relationship, she should deal with it and be celibate for the rest of her life. But if sex is an important aspect of a relationship or the marriage she's gone into, then she needs to just step out of it because it's not going to work. There's not going to be some kind of magic that is going to happen. No miracle is ever going to make him grow some penis. Okay, so she needs that marriage. She needs to just step out of as quickly as possible.
Thank you very much, Susan. Thank you so much for your contribution so far. But again, this lady said she is a virgin. A virgin has never tested, has never had sex, has never had sex, have never tested a penis. So why is she so? Why? I mean, I'm sure she can stay because she has never known the has never had a
Yes,
taste of it. So why don't you
yes.
think, from if you look at it from the other aspect, that she can still be in it, you know, is whatever you train up a child with that the child grows up with. So if she
Okay,
has never done it, and there are other ways to satisfy her, her sexual needs, which the man can also do. I
Queen,
mean, I think
that's a
that's
contradiction. I don't understand. What are the other ways? They're supposed to be holy. They're supposed to be living in heaven. They're not supposed to
no.
be
There are
of this
lots of
world.
ways.
What are the
No, hold
other
on,
ways
hold
to
on.
satisfy
There are
her?
other ways
The
to
other
satisfy
ways, the
her.
other
Not
options
only
available are for sinful people according to their standard of religiosity. Okay, what are the other ways? Can you tell me an example of the other ways? Using sexual tools or using their hand or using their mouth? What are
as
those ways are
a lot.
unholy.
No,
Those
it
ways
can't
are
be.
unholy for people like them. And like you said, why can't she be in that relationship? She's never experienced sex before because
Yes,
she's a virgin.
yes,
That's a good question. But guess what? If it's not a big deal for her, why did she come to social media to talk about it? She's never had it. She shouldn't want to have it, isn't it? But she was keeping herself for marriage to have that experience, which is a beautiful thing. And someone has finally scammed her, especially the fact that she's never had it and she was looking forward to having it because she's heard about how wonderful sex can be, isn't it? So she
yes.
has a mindset and she has this picture in her mind of how she's going to experience such great, experience in her marriage. And now he's going to deprive her of that by scamming her into a marriage. If it wasn't
Okay,
important,
okay. Now,
if it's sorry, let me finish. If it wasn't important that she for her to have sex, it would not have been a big deal. We would not have heard about it. She would not have come in public to talk about it. But it's clearly a big deal. She wanted to experience sex, therefore, it's a big deal.
okay, let's go back to the issue of true love. Do you believe in true love?
Of course.
Okay, let's base it on
Hello,
percentage. Let's base it on
can you hear
percentage.
me?
Yes, we'll come to you shortly, Mr. Abu. Let's base it on percentage. In this kind of situation, like how many percent love do you think this lady has for this man? Regardless of the
What are
fact
you
that
talking
okay,
about? Percentage of love? Oh my
yes, let
lord.
me say, because if you have a total 100% love for your man and you
Mm-hmm.
got in and realize this is the situation, I'm
Uh-huh.
sure she will accept it, her
if you're
fate,
if you're
and
if
just
you're a
move
woman
on.
like me, I can love you 100%, 100%, and find out that you're just a liar, and that love just goes because everyone have standards and what they're looking for in a relationship, and
All right.
you can love someone and find out things about them, and that love goes to zero from 100%. So that I cannot
Okay.
see the level of percentage of love she should have had for him that should make her accept this, unless they both are liars and they want to lie to themselves because she's
All right.
definitely going to
Uh,
be in that marriage and somebody else is going to have to take care of her sexually and it's not going to be him.
okay. Thank you
You
so much,
understand?
Susan West. You really spoke at length. And can we quickly give an opportunity to Mr. Rashid Abu to quickly let us have his own opinion as the man? Abu is the man now that has the issue. Abu, can you speak up, please?
Can I
Mr. Rashid, we are listening to you. Oh, we lost him. Okay, Abu will join us. Mr. Rashid Abu will join us shortly. But before he comes back, Susan, I want to say something. If, for instance, this you are speaking from the angle of the lady, I can see where you're talking from. But again, if you were to be the man, let's assume you were to be the man, put yourself in the man's shoes. What would you do? Would you open up to the man, to the woman, to tell the woman, look, this is my predicament, or this is what I go through, this is what I have. Do you think if he keeps telling women and his desire is to have a wife, is to get into marriage, do you think a lot of women are willing to, in this era we are right now, do you think any woman is willing to accept that kind of thing? To be with a man that has no, that doesn't have a manhood. Susan West, we can't hear you. Please check your mic.
Oh, sorry, I was muted. So that's what
Okay.
we're talking about. Okay. Integrity, honor. Okay. So it's not about whether somebody wants to accept you. It's a very big world out there. There are people, regardless of the problems that you have, that will still love you for who you are. Honesty. Guess what? It will surprise you to know that if this man had been honest with the lady from the get-go, that she probably would have been able to absorb the information, think about it, and probably still say yes to him.
It can still happen while they are there, because she can still look at it, the fact that, okay, I'm in already. She can
No,
have
she's
a
not in.
second
She's
thought.
not in
All
already.
right,
It's a scam. As far as I'm
okay, thank
concerned,
you.
it's a scam. He lied.
Thank,
A
thank you
relationship
so much.
that is founded on lies cannot be sustained. You cannot trust him
All right.
anymore.
Okay, Mr.
Mhm.
Rashid Abu, can we have your opinion as the man that has this handicap issue?
You're breaking up. I can't hear you. Good evening, Queen.
Thank you. Thank you for joining the program.
Can you hear
Can
me?
we have, yes, we can hear you very well, loud and clear.
Oh, good evening.
Thank you.
Can I go ahead?
Of course, go ahead, we're listening.
Oh, okay. Um, I I think Susan has made some valid points, but you make mention of the girl is a pastor's child, and she got into marriage and she discovered that the man has no manhood.
Sorry,
And
sorry, Mr.
it's all
Abu.
depend on the kind of
Sorry, Mr.
orientation.
Abu. Sorry, Queen, can you quickly announce how people can get your page, because we don't know how to find you on Facebook.
Okay, you can go to my Facebook page. Is single family and social life talk show on Facebook. Family and social life. I'll
Right.
put that now on the comment section right now.
His network is really bad, so he's gone again.
It's gone again.
Yeah, his network is bad.
Family and social life. I don't know why they're not getting us right now. Okay, that's it there. Can you see it?
Yeah, family and social life. Family
Yes.
and social life, yeah?
Talk show. Yes.
Talk show.
On Facebook.
Family and social life talk show. Facebook. What have I done? I can't see. Okay, it's fine.
Okay, Susan, while we're waiting for Mr. Rashid Abu to come on the show, I would like to ask you some very important questions still regarding this topic we're discussing now. So, what is your advice to ladies out there that wants to get into marriage? Do you advise them to have sexual intercourse, to have sex before marriage? Why?
Who am I? Who am I to advise anyone to have sex before marriage? Who am
No,
I?
so
Well,
okay,
I can tell you for
let's
sure.
have your opinion towards that.
No,
Do you think it's advisable for ladies to test run, so to speak? Pardon my pardon my, my language, to
The
check
thing
or
is,
to know. Hmm.
I'm not a pastor, so I have the liberty to be able to say what I think about this.
Of
Yeah,
course,
without.
yeah.
uh
It's a general
The truth
thing.
is, yes, a in a world where we imagine us to be righteous and blameless, stainless, pure, as white as snow,
And
as
holy.
the Bible describes, um, people washed up with the blood, people who have been washed with the blood of Jesus, they are according to, you know, the scripture. In a world like that, we want to think that staying, not experiencing sex before marriage is the ideal thing. But in reality, you can see the consequences such as this. I
Yes, that
cannot
is
tell,
coming out these days.
yeah, I cannot tell any woman you must experience this sex before marriage. However, I cannot and will not advise any young girl that I know. I'm not saying go and have sex before marriage, but you must find out that things are working. If it means going to the hospital, if it means getting checked up, if it means you both going and getting proper medical checkup, because of course the doctors will have to share, you have to share your records with each other. If you don't want to, if you're one of those people who don't want to, have sex, you want to be holy until you get married, fine, that's your thing. But with stories coming up like this, you must make sure that you at least get, um, checked up medically, because of course it's something that should be
Okay,
comfortable for both
let me
parties.
quickly come in there. Hold on, please. If you're checked medically to find
Mm.
out that okay, it's functioning, and you still don't get to see the thing properly and the size or the
Queen,
I'm basically.
remember, this conversation is not about whether he has a it's not about the size or how good it works or
Yes,
how
because
bad
he
it
said he
works.
doesn't have
It's the fact
anything
that there is nothing there. It's
in between
non-existent.
his legs. But I'm sure he goes to toilet, he pee. What is he using to pee?
Why are you asking me, Queen? You I wonder why I'm the one being asked this question. I don't live in the same household with the man. I don't know how he does we. I don't know. I've never heard of such a story before. I've heard about people having both female and male sexual organs at the same time. I've never heard of a human being that doesn't have any at all. So I'm not sure if the story is
He said he has.
100% accurate,
I
but
feel that that's overrated. Maybe is over exaggerating, over exaggerating the whole thing. Probably she has. The guy has it, and it's very. It's just to pee. Maybe it's very little. Maybe half of the last. Our last finger, and
Queen, this conversation is not about the size. The woman did not say that the size was the reason why, because of course she's a virgin. She shouldn't be
it's
worried about
possible.
the
It can be
size.
okay. Okay, for instance, sorry, you have something like this pen, and you have something like this. It might be functional medically. If you check, it will be functioning. But what can this do? That's the question.
Did you bring me here to ask me this question? Like you really actually want me
No,
to?
I'm doing a follow up to your question where you said your response where you said they can go and check. They just go up
Queen,
plain and
I'm
said
going by what
do
I heard the
let
woman
them.
say in the video, which is that he has nada, zilch, nothing. As far
In
as
between.
manhood is concerned, the woman spoke eloquently enough to understand what nothing and little is. We need to find out from a medical professional if what instances there are human beings like that, and how do they do number one, for instance, if they wanted to pee, how do they do pee? Do they not ever pee? Because that's a question for another day and a question for a medical professional, not me. But the truth of the matter is, going by what the woman said, she didn't say that he had very tiny little bits and she was worried about the size. Okay. She talked about the man having nothing whatsoever. The place is empty, which is what, of course, if he has something there and it's small, that's not his fault. That's her decision to not want to know what things that like down there before he got married. Okay? But this is not a situation about size. It's a situation of someone scamming. Why is my voice playing back?
I can hear you clearly. I can hear you clearly.
Okay. There's a feedback on my end. Anyway, I'll just ignore it. So basically,
okay. Let me quickly say this as we run down our time is fast spent. So I want to say, let's do it the other way. If it were to be a woman and a man, for instance, you're the woman, and something like that happens, do you advise the same thing as a woman, as a lady? Be honest, please.
Advise as a woman to advise what?
That
What's
probably, there are, okay, let me use two instances here. Probably the woman doesn't have a vagina, or the woman is an hermaphrodite. This, I know, I'm sure you know what I'm talking about.
Of course, this is not a solidarity for women. Me talking about her just leaving if you want to, regardless of what anybody says, is not a women's solidarity thing. If the woman herself doesn't have the female sexual organs, then she should be honest to tell the man before marriage. And if that was a situation and she didn't tell him and he finds out, I'm sure he will live in a habit, and the entire world will still be blaming the woman, especially in Nigeria. Because all of the men in the society, including the women, will say, oh, she knows she doesn't have this. Why the man to marry her? How is he going to fulfill his sexual needs? That's the excuse they're going to make, because it's a society that is chauvinistic like that. Okay? So even if he was a woman, if the roles were reversed, or the situation was a reversed one, I would say the same thing. The man should just walk away. He doesn't have to stay. If she didn't tell him from the beginning, he doesn't have to stay. No obligations.
Thank you so much, Susan. We have another guest, Engineer Arinze. We want him to quickly let us know what his opinion is on this issue. Engineer Arinze, you're welcome to the program.
Yeah. Good evening from this side of the country.
Thank you very much. We've had our time is fast spent, so we will need to quickly get straight into the business of today.
Okay.
I'm sure you know you already know what is on ground.
I think I know.
Okay. You think you know, or you know?
I know.
Okay, so go ahead. As the man, we want you to speak from the perspective of the man that has this disability.
The truth remains that it's a very hard nut to crack. But be it as it may, I will start by saying that what has happened has happened. So we are just looking for the way out. Because had it been this surface before now, I will be the first person to advise the man on the way to go. Thank God, Catholic Church has made it very, very easy for such a person to be a reverend father.
Can you imagine?
So,
Susan, are you listening?
What am I trying to say? I blame the parents of the young man before now. Because I think they took the wrong step. If I was the parents of the guy, what I could have done before now is very simple. Enroll the guy into seminary school. So that we will not know that the case has been settled forever. So, but let's quickly go to the business of the day. For the woman to come out online and begin to cry out, I will not blame the woman. Marriage is for better for worse. From the angle of the woman, I understood that the main reason why the woman is crying out so that the whole world will hear her is just very simple. Because of the sexual satisfaction, which is one of the main reason of marriage. But permit me to say this. Marriage is far beyond that. Medically, I don't know the extent that they have gone looking for solution. I mean medically. But let's just take it like the whole medical, the whole medical process failed. What the man is just saying is very simple. Let us adopt. So it is now left for the woman to know exactly why she chose the man at the first place. One of the reasons of marriage is this. That's procreation. That is to bear children. And that is exactly where the woman is crying out loud so that no one will hear her. So, but according to
Oh my God, we lost that guest there. I think it's due to some network issues. All right, back to you, Susan West. I'm sure you've heard what Engineer Rizzi was trying to explain, that the parents didn't do well to that man, allowing him to get to this age and allowing him go through all this in life. That honestly, there would have been some solutions from birth, which is enrolling the guy into seminary schools, making him a reverend father at the long run, which would have helped him, because reverend fathers don't get married, they don't have sex, nothing. So that would have settled the issues from the onset. Do you agree to that?
Well, first, I can't blame his parents. I can't blame his parents because he's a full-grown man. They don't get big reason.
No, not now. There was Engineer Arize was trying to say from birth, like when they realized, because the guy said that he was born with it. So Arize was trying to say that from birth, that is what the parents should have done.
Yeah, well, the first question is, are they Catholics? You can't ask a parent who is not Catholic to go and enroll their son in seminary if they're not Catholic. Okay, so I'm not even going to go there because if your parents are not God, they gave birth to you had there was a defection. No.
No.
What's the word I was
What's
looking
the word
for?
I was looking for? Anyway,
the truth
the
is,
truth is,
we're not even
we're not
arguing
even arguing about
whether he should have
whether he
gotten
should
married
have
or he
gotten
shouldn't
married
have
or he
gotten
shouldn't
married.
have gotten
The
married.
point is,
The point
he
is,
lacked the
he lacked the
integrity
integrity
to let the
to
woman
let the
know.
woman know.
Like I said,
Like I said,
there are too many
there are too
people,
many
too many
people,
women in the
women
world
in the
who
world who
there's somebody
there's
somewhere
somebody
who would have
somewhere
still
who
married
will
him if
still
they
marry
knew the
him if they
truth.
knew the truth.
Okay?
Okay?
There's somebody
There's
out there, there's
somebody
a woman
out there,
out
there's a
there
woman out there
that would have loved
that
him
would have
enough
loved him enough
and
and
would have been
would
aware
have
of
been
the
aware of
situation
the
and still
situation and
agreed to
still
marry
agreed
him.
to marry him.
The fact is
The
that
fact is
he
that
lied
he
about it.
lied
He
about
hid
it.
the
He
truth
hid the truth
and he
and
deceived
he deceived
somebody else
somebody else
into a
into a
relationship
relationship
that is
that is
supposed to be a
supposed to be a
lifetime.
lifetime. Yeah, what I
So
want you to what I want you to get cleared about is for the fact that before it got to this extent, this issue would have been solved long before now. It's something they can cop on time when they knew that this is not something he got to a middle age or teenage before it happened. It was from birth. The
and what were you
defection was
what were
from
you
birth. So Arize is trying. Okay, let allow Arize to elaborate or expatiate more on what he's trying to
Arinze,
say.
can I ask you a
Can I ask
question
you a
before
question
you
before
continue?
you continue?
Arinze,
Okay.
what were his
What were
parents
his
supposed to
parents
do?
supposed to do?
He was born
He was
without
born without
a manhood.
a
What
man.
is it his
What
parents,
is
what are the
his parents?
steps? If they are not
If they are
Catholic,
not Catholics,
how could they have
how
sent
could
him
they have
to
sent him to
seminary? What were
seminary?
they
What
supposed
were
to
they
do?
supposed to do?
Thank you for this
Thank you for
question.
this question.
I really
I really
acknowledge
acknowledge
the question that
the
you just
question that
asked.
you just asked.
The
The
answer is
the
very
answer
simple.
is very simple.
There must be a
There
way
must
out
be
in
a way out
everything.
in everything.
What am I trying to
What am I
say?
trying to say?
Let's just take it
Let's
that
just take it
they
that
are
they
Muslim.
are Muslim.
The very
The very
first or the best way to
best way
handle
to handle
this
this
to avoid
to
shame,
avoid shame,
embarrassment,
embarrassment,
or
or
any kind of
any kind of
shame to
shame
the
to the
family is
family
very
is
simple.
very simple.
That time that
That
the guy is
the
very
guy is
small.
very small.
Thank God that we
Thank
have
God that we have
freedom of worship.
freedom of worship.
This could have
This could
solved
have
this very
solved this very
problem. It doesn't
problem. It
mean
doesn't
if
mean
the guy is
if the
Catholic
guy is
or not.
Catholic or not.
There is no
There is no
reasonable
reasonable
person
person
that will grow
that
up
will
and
grow
see
up
the
and
reason
see the
why
reason why
the very that is the
that is
parents did
the
what they
parents did
did.
what they did.
I don't think the
I don't
guy
think
will
the guy
be
will be
angry with the parents.
angry with the parents.
It doesn't matter
It
if
doesn't
it's
matter if it's
a Catholic or
Catholic
non-Catholic.
or non-Catholic.
Even if the person
Even
happens
if the
to
person
be a
happens to
Hindu.
be a Hindu.
Are you hearing me,
Go
Mama?
ahead. Are you hearing Mama? Of course, we are hearing you.
Okay, so I think I've said much
I've
on
said
this.
much
Let
on
me
this. Let
continue
me
with
continue with
my
my
point before I
point
was
before I was
interrupted
interrupted
by the network.
by the network.
What am I trying
What
to
am I
say?
trying to say?
The woman
The
came
woman
out to
came
cry
out to cry
to the whole
to
world
the whole world why
how she was
how she was
deceived
deceived
and
and
lure into
lure
a
into
marriage
a
that
marriage that
she ought
she
have
ought
not been.
have not been.
But now
But
we
now
we are just
we
looking
are
for
just
a way
looking
out.
for a way out.
And what is the way
And
out
what is the
now?
way out now?
One of the reasons
One of the
of
reasons
marriage,
of marriage,
just like I said
just like
before,
I said before,
is what?
is what?
Procreation.
Procreation.
That is to,
That is to,
you know, bear children and they have
and they
descendants,
have
just like in the
descendants,
Bible.
just like in the Bible.
But let's just face the fact.
Just face the fact.
We've seen
Many
many marriages collapsing, not because of manhood or sexual desire. Even in the Christendom, even in Muslim, we've seen many marriages collapsing
I'm hungry.
I'm hungry because of lack of security, companionship, love, peace of mind, etc. Hello?
Go ahead, we're listening.
Yeah. So what am I trying to say? If the woman see the thing from the perspective of she's entering the marriage only to bear children or to satisfy her sexual desire, I'm sorry, she gets it wrong. What the woman should ask herself is very simple. In this very family, my security, my comfort, are they guaranteed? The trust, is it there? The love, is it there? Because Bible says that love covers everything. When Bible says everything, Bible means everything. And this one that you're treating is part of them. This woman in question, does she have what we call peace of mind? If yes, there's a way to do it. And it really lies on them. What am I trying to say? Thank God, many of us have traveled, and we see white people getting married to dogs, getting married to donkeys, getting married to animals, even house. We can see even lesbians being legalized in many parts of the world. So if that should be the case, I don't think that this very issue is a very issue, or it's a very big issue to begin to crack our head on.
All right, let me quickly come in there. Marinze, you made mention of lesbian people being lesbians, these legalized, in some parts of the world, and some white people get married to donkeys, dogs, cats, and the rest. But remember, this is a cultural thing. It's not in our culture in Africa.
I know.
Do you realize that?
Yes.
Okay. In a nutshell, what do you want this lady to do now? Can you just quickly, try to see how we can wrap up? What do you want the lady to do, and what do you want the guy to do?
This thing is very simple. For the side of the lady, I will advise the lady to go with her mind. What is that very thing that brought her into the marriage? If it is to bear children and satisfy her sexual desires, she should just leave.
Those are the main things in marriage. Those are the key things in marriage.
You are seeing it as the main key in marriage. Another person out there might see it as one of the minority when it comes to marriage.
Okay, for the guys aspect, if for instance the lady decide to quit the marriage or seek for divorce, what do you want the guy to do?
If the lady should file for divorce, then it is now
It's
well
now
known
well
that
known
the
that
main
the
reason
main reason that the main reason
or one or
or
okay,
one
let's say
or
the
okay,
main
let's say
reason
the main reason
on why
on
the
why the
lady
lady
got married at
got
the first
married at the
instance
first
is
instance is
just to
just to
satisfy
satisfy
her sexual
her sexual
desire and to
desire
get
and to
children.
get children.
All right, let's agree
Even in
that
our
is
Even in
Africa,
her
our
sorry,
reason.
Africa,
sorry,
sorry,
1 minute.
sorry, 1 minute.
Even in our Africa,
Even in our
I've
Africa,
seen many
I've seen
couples
many couples
that love
that love
where love
where
leads
love leads
their
their
adopted children.
adopted children.
You can
You
never,
can
ever,
never,
ever know.
ever know.
I mean, those
I mean,
children,
those
they are
children,
grown up
they are
now.
grown
Some
up now.
they have
Some
married.
they have
Even
married. Even
the woman
the
there has
woman
already
there
gotten
has already
married.
gotten married.
The
Or
guy
the guy
there is already a
there is
man.
already a man.
But
But
we know
we know
that
that
they bought the
they
children.
bought the children.
This is exactly what
This
I'm
is
trying to
exactly
say.
what I'm trying to say.
Where love
Where
leads,
love leads,
other things
other
are
things
secondary
are
issues.
secondary to it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, thank you so much, Engineer Rinze. You've really spoke at length, and from what you've said so far, that these are two things you feel strongly that if truly the woman loves the guy, he should stay put into the marriage. Is that true?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Thank
But
you so
But
much.
thank you,
thank you,
Let me just come
let
in
me just come in
like 30
like in
seconds.
30 seconds.
It's not that
It's not that
I maybe I supported
maybe
the
I
guy
supported the guy
100%.
100%.
The guy should
The
have
guy should
told
have told
the girl right
the
from
girl
onset.
right from onset.
Reason is this:
Reason is this:
many girls out
many
there
girls out there
are looking
are
for
looking
just a
for
guy
just a guy
to bear their
to
name
bear their name
and
and
where they will have
where they will have
security,
security,
where they will have peace
where
of
they will have
mind,
peace of mind,
where this
where
love will be
this
shown
love
to
will be
them,
shown to them,
where they will have
where they will have
companionship.
companionship.
And
And
what have I
what
think
have
we
I
should
think
read
we should read
Isaiah chapter 4
Isaiah
verse 1.
chapter 4 verse 1.
Many women are
Many
desperate
women
for
are
that.
desperate for that.
Isaiah chapter 4,
So
verse 1.
let me
Susan,
just
please take note of that.
so
Go ahead.
let me draw the
let
curtain
me draw
here
the curtain here
and allow you to
and
conclude
allow
your
you to
program.
conclude your
Thank you,
program.
ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
All right, thank you so much, Engineer Rinze, for your contribution into this program. We don't have much time on our side again as we try to wrap up the program. Just a quick one. This guy in question that we're talking about that has this issue right now, if this woman decides to leave this marriage, do you advise the guy to get into another marriage or relationship? And if yes, do you advise the guy to open up also to the other person he's getting into? Just 1 minute, 1 second for that question, please.
1 second.
What's the conflict?
Okay.
Okay,
Very simple.
very simple.
From the look of
From
things,
the look of things,
I bet you
I bet you,
if that man
if
should
that
leave that
man should
marriage
leave that marriage
today, if the woman should
if the
walk
woman
away
to
from
walk
that
away
very
from
marriage
that very marriage
today,
today,
I bet you
I bet you
there are
there
millions
are
of women
millions of
out
women
there
out there
looking for
looking for
this kind of
this kind of
opportunity.
opportunity.
And
And
quote me right,
quote me right,
when this
when
happens,
this happens,
we'll still come
we'll
here
still come
to
here to
address the issue.
address the issue.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, thank you so much. All right, Susan, we've had a long one on this topic actually, and I'm sure our viewers out there might have picked one or two things from this conversation today. I thank both of you, and in fact all of you that has been part of this program and to making it a success. I do really appreciate all of you, and we do hope to have you back on this program some other time again. And until then, I want to have Susan West last word for my viewers out there. Arinze, we'll come back for you to have a last word for your our viewers out there. Just leave a word with them to probably go and think about or take
Well,
home.
for me, well, I won't come
well,
in.
I will come in.
Final thoughts for
Final
today
thoughts for
is
today is
shine your eye.
shine your eye.
No,
No,
nobody,
nobody,
no,
no,
everyone is born
everyone is born
separate when
separate
we come into
when we
this
come
world,
into
even
this
as
world, even as
queens.
queens.
Shine your eye.
Shine your
Don't
eye.
be
Don't be
stupid in the
stupid
name of
in the name of
religion.
religion.
Simple and short.
Simple and short.
Thank you very much. That has been Susan West, uh, a TV presenter, a broadcaster, a songwriter, a singer, a mother, a wife,
Wow.
a queen,
Wow. Wow.
the
Thank you.
the presenter and the how will I put it, of the main most talked about show right now in the whole world, which is African Rise TV. And I urge you all to follow her on her African Rise TV page
Thank
on
you.
Facebook, on Instagram, on all the social media. Is TV is African Rise TV. And with her busy schedule, she's a very busy woman. She took out this time to join us, to be with us on this program. I do really appreciate your time, Susan
Queen, thank you
West.
so much for
Thank you
giving
so
me
much
the
for giving
chance
me
to
the
be
chance
here.
to be here.
I enjoyed
I
it, even
enjoyed
though I
it,
don't
even though
like
I
the
don't
fact
like the
that
fact that
I couldn't
I
respond to
couldn't respond to
Arinze,
Arinze,
who is making
who is making
excuses,
excuses,
which is
which is
expected for a
expected for a
Nigerian man,
Nigerian man
to make
to make
all
all
sorts
sorts of
of unreasonable
unreasonable
excuses.
excuses.
But if it was the
But if it was
woman,
the
they
woman,
will not
they will
find
not
it
find it
in their
in
hearts
their
to
heart
cut her
to
some
cut her
slack.
some slack.
All right, thank you so much, Susan West. Up to you, Arinze. What's your last word for our viewers out there?
Hey,
Hey,
the truth is this.
the truth is this.
Our mommy Susan,
Our
I
mommy
really
Susan,
appreciate
I
your
really
time, just
appreciate
like
your time, just
our
like
mommy Queen
our
said.
mommy Queen said.
It's been a
It's been
very
a very
interesting time
interesting time
to be with you
to be
guys.
with you guys.
My take on
My
this is
take on
this.
this is this.
If
If
if we want to
if
copy,
we want to copy,
if we want to
if
copy
we want
the
to
Western
copy
world,
the Western world,
let's copy
let's
everything.
copy everything.
Let's not say
Let's not say
do this
do
and
this
leave this.
and leave this.
Because from the look of
Because from
things,
the look of things,
we are seeing it
we are
from
seeing it
the
from
perspective
the
that we are
perspective that
Africa.
we are Africa.
But
But
civilization has made
civilization
it
has
very, very
made it
easy
very, very easy
for us to think
for
beyond
us
that.
to think beyond that.
If we want
How
to
do you
start
mean? What do you
civilization with
want us
that
to
principle,
in this situation? What do you want us to copy?
what we want to copy is
What we
this.
want to copy is this.
If this thing
If this thing
were to be
is to be
a white or
a
a
white
Western
or
culture,
a Western culture,
how do they address
how do
it?
they address it?
Will you choose
Will you choose
physical appearance
physical
over
appearance
character,
over character,
over compassion,
over compassion,
over
over
respect,
respect,
over submissiveness?
over submissiveness?
The answer is yet to be.
The answer is yet to be.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. You earlier mentioned that and why some white persons they get married to dogs, to animals, and the rest, and they don't care about having sex and all of that. So that one can come in place of this situation right now. And there are some lesbians there that help themselves in different other ways that don't really need sexual satisfaction from a man. All right, we'll leave it there until next time when I come your way again. Same time next week. Bye bye. I remain
Bye.
Queen.
Bye.
Obaseki, your host.
Susan,
Bye-bye.
bye. Mommy Queen,
Please leave your comments also below and also share this broadcast. Maybe someone will be there to pick one or two things from there. Share the broadcast, leave your comment, like our page, and subscribe to our channels. Thank you so much, and God bless you. I love you. Bye.
bye. Love you.
Bye. Love you.